My name is Gabriel,
And my name is Michaela.
and we are here to discuss about the Fourth and Sixth Amendments. My amendment is the Sixth Amendment, and it was part of the Bill of Rights. It was ratified on December 15th, 1791, and the amendment required that criminal defendants have a right to a speedy trial. The amendment also says that the accused will have a public trial so that public trials help ensure that government officials are following the law. The right to an impartial jury is guaranteed in the Sixth Amendment, but only applies to serious offenses where the punishment is more than 6 months in prison. The amendment requires that the defendant is to be told of what crime they are charged with. To make trials as fair as possible, the person people who say they witnessed the crime is to testify in court, which gives the accused or their lawyer a chance to question or confront them. The amendment guarantees the accused a lawyer or assistance of counsel, but if the accused cannot afford a lawyer, then the government will provide a lawyer. This amendment's impact on society is that it gave criminal defendants the right to a fair trial and prevented corrupt and unfair prison systems. The court case I found for this amendment is Gideon versus Wainwright, which happened in 1963. And Clarence Gideon was sent a handwritten petition to the Supreme Court challenging his conviction for breaking into a Florida pool hall, and argued that he did not have a fair trial because he had not been given a lawyer to help him with his defense. Gideon was arrested for breaking into a pool hall with plans of stealing money from the vending machines, which was a felony. When the time came for Gideon to appear in court, his request for a court-appointed lawyer was denied. In Florida law, it only required lawyers for defendants charged with capital offenses, leaving no choice for Gideon but to defend himself. In the end, he was found guilty and was sentenced 5 years in prison. When Gideon sent the petition to the Supreme Court, he challenged the constitutionality of his conviction. Supreme Court agreed that his trial had been unfair and overturned his conviction. The purpose of our two amendments were to ensure that the person who is suspected or arrested for crimes to be treated fairly. And my sources were Ducksters.com and BillOfRightsInstitute.org.
I'm going to be doing the Fourth Amendment, and my name is Michaela Devers. The Fourth Amendment states the right of people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures. This shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue, but upon probable cause supported by the oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. There's quite a bit of history behind the Fourth Amendment. The Fourth Amendment was added to the Bill of Rights on December 15th, 1791, and the Fourth Amendment was added because of the Intolerable Acts, when the British soldiers would search people in their homes with no reason or any suspicion. People who were discovered to be smugglers would be seized, and often British soldiers wouldn't even inform the accused of why they were being punished. British soldiers would search with no evidence or proof that someone committed a crime. The Supreme Court case I chose for this was the Terry versus Ohio. The background behind it was that Officer Martin McFadden, with 39 years of experience, noticed that 3 men were acting suspicious. The men were pacing in front of a jewelry store, and Officer McFadden stopped and frisked the 3 men. 2 were armed, Terry with a pistol and Chilton with a revolver. The third man, Katz, was unarmed. Terry and Chilton were arrested for carrying concealed weapons. The outcome and impact on society was that the court ruled the 2 men as guilty, and they were charged. Terry appealed to the U.S. Supreme Court. Terry versus Ohio represents a clash between the Fourth Amendment from intrusive, harassing conduct by police when no crime was committed and the duty of an officer to investigate and prevent crime. Ohio won the case, saying that there was a reason to stop and frisk the men, and Terry was sentenced to 3 years in jail for concealed carry. The sources I used for the information about the Fourth Amendment were Google.com, AccuOhio.org, LawCornell.edu, and Ducksters.com.